Remember how cool he looked?
Oh my God, that little soul patch goatee.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Is Gibby on the phone? This is a Gibby song?
This is a Gibby song.
I'm there trying to get ear pods in.
Go ahead, Gibby, take your time.
Game 1.
We're listening to your song.
1988. Good old Kirk Gibson hobbles up to the plate.
Can you hear your song, Gibby?
I can hear it.
Yeah, crank it. He loves this. This is one of Gibby's favorites.
Man on first base, and on the mound was Dennis Eckersley.
They really built a
playing the
drama.
harmonica there?
What's that?
You playing the harmonica?
Of course.
The count was 3-2. One more strike and the game was done. But then Kirk smacked a backdoor slider for a hobble-off home run. It was his only appearance in the series because he was in so much pain. But he gave his team a boost enough
Just
so
watch
they
a football game? They're going to have one of those for Matt Stafford real quick, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard it called a hobble-off home run? I love that. I like that.
Yeah, I'm still hobbling, so...
That's right. Gibby has some surgery coming up very soon.
Yeah, we're going to go take a look, but I was limping from TV to TV tonight. I did consider blowing you guys off again. I didn't want to be too mysterious. And just a little prep work. I see you guys in the podcast ranking. You're at 88.
Yeah.
So, Drew, you get out. I was going to tell Drew to get out in public more, and you can get up there because you said you were going to be retired from public life.
That's right.
I'll be damned. He went up to 7-Eleven at halftime and missed a touchdown and an interception.
That's true. I did.
Gibby, we were laughing because when you called, that's when he took off. He was very excited to talk to you.
Well, my phone doesn't work in the house, so I had to go to 7-Eleven. So I thought, well, that's perfect time. I can call Gibby back. But Gibby, let's talk about some. Can we talk about some football here?
Let's talk about it.
All right.
Good game. Great games. Playoffs.
I thought it was good. Great. Oh yeah, great year. But okay, the interference call on 55 on third down. What do you think of that call? You're a wide receiver, so I know you have to be on the receiver side. But what do you think? Is that a good call?
I think not to play down any of the great plays that were made in that game by anybody, but they didn't call many plays like that earlier in the game, and then they did call it. I mean, they threw 3 or 4 flags there at the end, and for Cincinnati, you knew Cooper Kupp and Stafford. I mean, that's all they had left on the offensive side. So you got to give Cincinnati, maybe you should have doubled him and taken him away, but it was just really an outstanding finish for Matt Stafford and for Cooper Kupp. And Aaron Donald, how dominating can the guy be?
Wow.
He really had a hell of a game. I mean, the last 2 plays in the game. But I think that the officials, they got involved there. It'll be talked about, but it was a very good Super Bowl. And congratulations to Matt Stafford.
Yeah, you had to be happy for Matt and his teammates. But, God, that was the 3 straight plays. Flag, flag, flag. And the play after the interference on 55, were they going to call holding on the Rams?
Yeah, but the ball was in the air, so it was pass interference. No, holding on.
The next play, they threw flags on each team.
Yes, the offensive tackle. He definitely
79.
That was a definite hold, and that was a definite.
And then they called an extra hard hit. You can't hit.
Extra
really
hard hit.
It's a cross between foosball and football.
Is that what they called it, an extra hard hit? I didn't hear it.
They should.
I think that if you don't have your knee pads on, that means that you can't hit.
Well, that one pass interference Drew was talking about seemed like it was a makeup call for a very bad missed call at the beginning of the second half. The T. Higgins face mask. And now I wonder, did you ever do that when you were playing whiteout? Did you ever just grab someone's face mask going up for a ball?
I did my last play of my college career. I did it because I got in a fight with the Iowa team, and I grabbed the guy by the face mask. And obviously got ejected.
You got ejected from your last game?
Well, they had a ploy, and it worked. This guy, he just kept punching me, and we got out for the third quarter, and he did it again, and I just grabbed him by the face mask, and it turned into a Donnybrook.
All right.
Somebody help Gibby, please. I was just fighting the whole team.
You want to go?
Hey, is that on YouTube? I'd like to see that. Now, what was the score of the game when this Donnybrook broke out?
We were beating them. It was in the third period. I have never seen it. I don't think that was preserved. That hasn't been preserved, and I'm still trying to find a picture of me guarding the stage at the Pontiac Silverdome in 76 or 7 for Led Zeppelin.
That's
Those
right.
are the two things I can't locate. So there's a reward. If they can find those.
Let's see, what else happened tonight? The defensive lines were just...
big.
What's that?
The extra point was big.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that could have been huge. And I wonder if the Rams would have just safety danced in and kicked a field goal if they didn't have to get 7. That's not really Stafford's.
I would say because Cincinnati was getting the ball with a lot of time.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking, for the game, it really didn't matter because they beat them. They got the touchdown. I was thinking, look at the betting line was 4.
Yeah. Oh, believe me, I know.
So do I.
Did that game make the under? It did.
It must have, yeah. And the big gambling winners are the people that had 3-0. My father-in-law had it because they won after the second quarter and at the game. Same numbers hit, and then another guy, a buddy of mine, hit both of them. Like, God damn it. Squares.
Now, the halftime thing was not directed at us classic rockers, but did you like the halftime show, Gibby? Was there anything in it for you?
I'm more of a rocker, but I always find it interesting the way people express. And when you get a big group of talented musicians together like that, I think it's pretty cool. I always wonder who's singing and who isn't, though. I think if you're going to do something like that, you got to sing. What do you guys think?
What's the verdict?
I thought they were.
I thought they were, but I've been fooled before.
There's a lot of questioning, especially because they caught Eminem singing while his microphone was by his hip, and then people were asking about Mary J. Blige's first song, so there was people questioning it.
Did Eminem kneel, or was he air kneeling?
He knelt at the end of the performance, and people were fighting about that, too. No, he was kneeling for Tupac. No, he wasn't.
He was kneeling
for Tupac.
What?
It was a combo.
Okay, we'll give it to him.
Had a couple combos today.
Now, there was a really unfortunate death over the weekend. Someone that so many people know, Frank Beckman here, who did Michigan football, did the Lions, did the Tigers when you were playing, probably, Gibby, right?
Yeah, and I knew Frank. We did a lot of stuff together. And we used to do those Colony Marine commercials. And I had a tough line. It was like, yeah, Frank. That's right. Yeah, Frank. Yeah, Frank. You do that about 30 times and give me a good one. Go ahead, Brandon. Try to do it.
Yeah, Frank.
Yeah, Frank.
What's the setup?
Come on, Frank.
Yeah, Frank.
Yeah,
How about that marina, Kirk? Oh, he missed
it was the 350 Merc Cruisers. That had a tongue twister in there, but
Mr. Keel.
Frank was a very loyal friend. He always is real supportive of Detroit and the people that he, talked to. His show was great.
Yeah.
And, it was a couple of years ago. I know he talked to my doctor because he thought maybe he's having some, tremors or something. And I think my doctor said that he didn't think he had Parkinson's. Come and see him. I don't know what happened after that, but I do know he had a very serious condition, and it progressed very quickly. And it's too bad. So I guess appreciate every day you have.
Amen.
Like we're getting old, and you don't even have to be old anymore.
No.
There's a lot of crazy shit going on. So
no, that's
pay our respects to Frank.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm blessed to have laughed with him a bit or two, and he challenged it as well. We had a few got after each other a few times on opinions, but he was a great friend, and he'll be missed.
Did he do Tigers when you were playing, Gibby?
I think he was doing. He did some. Was that? I don't know. They had Channel 50. They had Pass.
He did some Lions.
I think it's retired. I know he did the Michigan stuff.
Oh yeah, for Michigan forever. I loved. I thought he had a great voice when I was just starting out in radio. That was just the deep, big voice that people wanted to have, and very resonant. He had some great calls.
Yeah, good pipe.
Yeah. Gibby, now you're getting up tomorrow for some knee surgery. Was there anything more you want to say about the game or otherwise?
Just I was running back from TV to TV. I realized my one TV doesn't take 5G. Okay, so I had to go on a different channel, and boy, Peacock was really spreading the commercials out differently at the different channels.
What? Really?
And yeah, like they weren't the same, and the TVs weren't that good. And they're also doing the Olympics now too. How about Mike Tirico?
Yeah, I know. Was
he really here? He was just China.
Yeah, he was.
It was hard to get in and out of there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's a good point. My question is he going back to China now?
Yes, he is.
He'll probably test positive when he lands and put in quarantine.
Yeah, it's not a real good accommodations from what I hear. But he's amazing. Huh?
Yeah, he must be
going to China twice?
I was thinking about how tired I am right now, and then I saw Tirico. I'm like, oh my God, that guy must be way more exhausted than I am.
So he's anchoring right now?
He did all day. He did all the pregame today.
But he's doing.
I thought he was doing it from China, but he
was here. Yeah, he was right outside SoFi.
They brought back the Concorde, I think, to get him back and forth. He can do it really quick.
Did you pay any attention to the commercials today? Any commercials you liked?
I did. Peyton Manning was in there quite a bit, huh?
Yeah, I thought first of all, I love the song "Showdown" by ELO. I love that that's in a commercial, and that bowling scene. Having bowled in leagues before, that felt very real to me. I didn't see were there follow-up commercials after the first one?
I thought there was one.
Or they're
more,
coming.
Yeah, there was one more, and then they had one Amazon commercial.
Oh, with Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, and yeah.
I think the Sam Bernstein ad was my favorite one.
That's right.
Yeah,
that was good. I mean, honestly, local. Commercials done locally usually cannot stand up, but it was a nice quick spot. It had a good punchline, and it's great to see you and Barry and D-Mac together. Hopefully that was some fun to shoot.
Yeah, I walked in to do that shoot. Actually, D-Mac and Barry were on the morning shift, and I came in later. And Barry, he's kind of a quiet guy, but he actually has a pretty good sense of humor. He started getting on me about my shoes or something. He always likes to dish it out a little bit.
I know Barry. He seems just so laid back, but he sounds like if you get to know him, he's a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, he was good, and actually, I thought about doing that if I wanted to do that or not. But after the more that I talked to Mark about it and saw the way it was going to be, that was kind of cool, and the fact that Darren and Barry were there. I said, this is. I like the whole thing. Came out pretty good. It wasn't shoddy, but I think Mark Bernstein does commercials 3 days a week. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah, I don't know how he has time to practice law. I know it's unbelievable. But so anyway, about that, and I did think that. Look at we're the Lions. We want to win the World Championship, the Super Bowl, and look how LA did it. Hired a new coach who's traded everybody away that anybody thought was good, and rebuilt with the star like every year. And Matt Stafford, who was here, and I think Detroit was fair with him, but there's some that were critical as well. I think that's fair to be either way, but I think that he proved that Joe Montana is driven down the field, Tom Brady's driven down the field, and there seems to be a new class of quarterbacks that can have that opportunity, and you got to give Matt Stafford. And his wife got a lot of airtime tonight too. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, she's been all in the post game.
Yeah, she was sitting with Cooper Kupp's wife there at the end. I mean, not
a bad looking.
No, but I mean, they were doing it on the field, and the wives were doing it off the field.
Yeah,
that was good stuff.
Let me ask you this: do the Rams win the Super Bowl if Jared Goff is the quarterback? If they had Odell Beckham and they got Von Miller? Because I would still say no.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Because he did play. Matt played really well in those other playoff games. Tonight, not so much.
He did play very well.
Yeah, but the thing about it is he threw a couple interceptions.
Yep.
The one wasn't really his fault. The one he threw, the one in the end zone, I think. But he hung in there, and he had the opportunity at the end, and he gathered himself.
He did.
It's kind of what happens. You make a lot of mistakes along the way, and you hope you can make a good play to erase all those memories.
Yeah.
And he did it. You got to give him the credit.
Oh, we've seen this so many times when you have somebody like Cooper Kupp who seems absolutely unstoppable, yet you can always put enough guys on somebody to stop them, at least for a certain amount of time. Did you feel like, why don't you put somebody else on him or three guys on him or whatever? Let anybody beat you but Cooper Kupp. I mean, how does a guy like that keep doing it?
Well, I would agree with you, but it wasn't going to stop him, and they're that close. Kupp comes out of his breaks really good, and he occasionally uses his hands, maybe a little push off here and there as well.
Uh-huh.
But here's a couple things that that come to my mind. Super Bowl Sunday is really fun, cool. I mean, I just gotten back from Florida today, so I just kind of hung tight here at home. But everybody's having the great parties, and just think of all the stories that everybody's going to be telling tomorrow. It's like they say, like you go, I'll buy the beer and the vodka, and bring a dish to pass or whatever like that. You really got to watch the desserts, though, don't you? You really got to watch it. And now, just think. I'm thinking about the first time we won the World Series. It went a long time, and it's really a good event and a good eating event as well. And now I'm sure they'll have some champagne and a couple glasses of wine. And it's a pretty good day to be hungry, I guess.
Gibby, what is it like? I remember when Darren McCarty scored the winning goal when the Wings won it in '97. I mean, they were up 1-0, but it ended up being the winning goal. And I thought, God, just to wake up every day and know you scored that winning goal would be so cool.
Darren McCarty comes back with England in front of him. McCarty
Was that Brandon?
One of the greatest memories of my life was that goal.
That was fantastic.
Yeah, best move ever by Darren. He'll admit it.
Yeah, it was.
Pretty good D.
It was a crazy move by him, and he wasn't that. I never thought he was adept enough to make a move like that, but he did. But anyway, you have two moments like that, 84 and 87. Does either one mean more to you?
It doesn't, actually. The thing about it is, you hit a home run, like when it's a walk-off, that you can celebrate, and that's a lot of fun. But when it happens earlier in the game, like when you're in a game like that, you're so locked in, and you use so much energy. Like in my case, being an outfielder, like you flinch at just about anything. You're locked in, and I can hear Sparky telling us it's never over till the last pitch. And you're telling yourself that all the time because you let your guard down, bad shit happens. And so when Larry Herndon caught that last pitch for the Tigers, that was outstanding. And then the one in L.A., we had this little saying that we would say after we won a game. And remember, Bob Costas wanted to interview me. I said I had to go in and do my little thing with the team. We did that, and then I never played again. And they won it, and I was really busy arguing with the commissioner. That was Peter Ubroff at the time, because they had they liked the media. We won it in L.A., the playoffs over the Mets. It was like the running of the Bulls. The media just came in there, and that's when the tape deck was attached to the camera by cable. And, you know, they were running through the locker room, clotheslining everybody. And
oh, my God.
so I just told him, when we win this, you can have AP, UPI, and I think it was CBS that was doing it. To give us 10 minutes, you can have your sponsors in here. Other than that, there'll be no running in the bulls. If there is, we'll be in the shitter over here, and I'll be at the door. Because, you know, he's the guy who he constructed the whole collusion thing.
Yeah, that's right.
And on my behalf, there was a situation in the collusion. So, you know, I didn't particularly care for him, and I asked him nicely first. He said, "No, we can't do that." I said, "Well, this is what you're going to see. Won't be anybody there." So in the end, he ended up doing it, and you know, it's a really cool thing to see grown men. And you know, same with these guys tonight. Football, they're going to have a heck of a time. They have their parades and stuff. It's all good stuff. They'll never forget it. They probably don't even realize the impact and the memory and how many people are going to talk to them about it for the rest of their lives, and where their place in history is. It's a cool thing. You know, someday they'll wonder, why me? You know, maybe I didn't deserve it, but you know what? Damn it, we did some good things, and you can't take it away. Not very many people win a Super Bowl or a World Championship, World Series.
A guy that hit 268 career home runs, I believe, which is a lot, but it's not like hitting 500.
That's a lot of homers.
Or having 3,000 hits or whatever. But those 2 hits, those 2 World Series, are so huge that, for example, if you were to have an embarrassing moment on an airplane and come out of a bathroom, you know, that you always have the risk that somebody's going to go, "Hey, Gibby," you know.
I wasn't really embarrassed. I was proud. It must have sounded like a wrestling match, me trying to reach back for the trigger back there to be courteous.
Yeah, a multi-flusher in an airplane, and then you walk out, and you're still the 1984 and 1987 World Series hero. I mean, I guess that's not a bad thing. I mean, it's better than not.
You got the mask on, though. You got the mask on.
That's true.
Who is that? Yeah, there you go. It took 4 of them to get it sound that good.
Does the recognition, has it ever slowed down, or do people still recognize you as often as ever?
Yeah, I mean, it varies. The people are really cool. It's really good. I think when I played, and I'm sure there's some guys in football, I used to always say, you know, you're trying to dominate these guys physically and mentally, and, you know, almost hurt them, so they'll, you know, get out of the way for you. But, you know, when you take your shoulder pads off, there's a pretty cool world out there. I had a hard time flipping the switch. It took me a while. And, yeah, it's pretty cool. People are nice. Like I said, it's just down in Florida. People recognize me and they talk. And if you're nice to them, they're nice back. And, you know, there's some pretty funny shit that happens in some of these conversations. And, you know, but the guys that played tonight, they'll get it as well. And there's, you know, a lot of guys, I remember, they'll tell you they remember something, and you got to say, you wonder if the guy's lying, if he really believes it, or if I'm just losing my memory. It could be any of them, actually.
Yeah. I had a tweet a couple weeks ago about Stafford leaving town, and, you know, how people are rooting for him, it seems, more than any way I could think of leaving town for another team. But, of course, I wasn't here in '87 when you went to the Dodgers. What was the feeling about that? Because you went to the Dodgers, you were MVP, and then you have that incredible series and the big home run off Eckersley. And was that kind of weird? Or did you feel like, I mean, Detroit's very much behind Matt Stafford. I assume they would be the same way for you.
Yeah. You know, I didn't feel weird until I played in Tiger Stadium and it was in the visiting dugout. That's when I felt pretty weird. And, you know, there were some things said on my way out, and maybe some of it was deserved, some of it wasn't. And, you know, sometimes it takes 35, 40 years before it gets cleared up, and that's the case with me. I mean, I just Monahan made a comment about how I was a disgrace to the Tiger uniform.
Oh, please.
And, you know, we've communicated a time or two here recently, and he just said he didn't realize, and I just said, hey, be honest, I probably deserved some of it anyway. So, but it takes time, and people are competitive, and I was gruff, and maybe still am sometimes, but
plus you came back.
I said, I did, but he wasn't the owner, and I remember when we were celebrating. They have the champagne that's actually crappy champagne, so it's good for spraying, and we didn't wear goggles. And so Mr. Monahan came in there, and he had his suit on. He was very proper. We were throwing everything around, running into everybody, screaming. And then they're big coolers, and they get empty, but there's ice water in them.
Oh, yeah.
So we doused Mr. I told Lance Parrish, here, grab this, sir, and we doused Mr. Monahan. He looked at me, He had a very good look there. So,
didn't appreciate it, huh?
No, we totally surprised him. But you know what? We had a good talk, and I hope he feels good about our talk. And he came here, and God dang it, first year won a World Series.
Yeah.
I'm pretty lucky. I remember I was in Simmons Woods in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. I heard that Tom Monahan bought the team. Nobody really knew who he was. In 1 year, he won a world championship. That's pretty special. I was pretty lucky, and in the end, I guess it worked pretty well for him.
Yeah, his timing was pretty sweet, no doubt.
So what time do you guys go to? What time do you tape it to tonight?
We'll go
whenever we end.
Yeah, we'll go 2.5 hours, I suppose.
Yeah, lots to talk about.
Brandon, where were you snowboarding at, Brandon?
I was up at Boyne Mountain.
Boyne Mountain. And I was up at the Highlands just the weekend before with some of my grandchildren, my nieces and nephews, and this first time because of my knee, I couldn't do it. I thought about it, but I couldn't do it. But gosh, that's fun. That's good times. So you're a good snowboarder, and you took 1 day off, sprinted up there, snowboarded, and came back. Boy, that's a hell of a dedicated worker
Gibby,
there.
everybody knows that the second Thursday of every February is the snowboard trip. And so, the conditions were okay, and it was a little cold, but I still got it in me. I can still do a little bit of snowboarding. And
are you in the half pipe, Brandon?
No, absolutely not.
No.
So you're right up there, one of the first guys on, and you just charge down as soon as you get the feel, right?
No, we didn't wake up until like noon.
Oh. Was there some drinking the night before, possibly?
I'll have to tell you a couple stories. A toilet got broken.
What?
Yeah.
By you?
Yeah, it got tackled. It actually got elbow dropped. It was a debacle.
The toilet was physically broken?
Yes. Yeah. To the point where the next day we were putting on new wax rings and new moorings and everything.
You went and bought one?
Yeah, we fixed it for the guy. In fact, I don't even think we told the guy that it broke.
That's a good question, Gibby. Did you actually have to go buy a whole toilet too, or just
Not
the wax
toilet,
ring? Okay.
Just the wax ring.
Yeah.
It got slammed off. Somebody went and they tried to lean on a shower curtain, and it doesn't hold a
Great
lot
idea.
of weight, and then they fell into
Why
it.
were they doing? How old are you guys?
I was going to say, it seems like you're a little older than, I would say like 10 years ago you'd be doing stuff like this.
Or maybe 5.
Yeah, there was a challenge.
You're a father now.
Brandon, what you want to do is you want to fix the toilet so it looks like it's nothing wrong with it, and the next guy sits down and you frame him.
Exactly.
He falls off. You broke the damn toilet!
Or just call the place and complain that my toilet seems to be broken.
What's wrong with
this?
With rental cars sometimes, too. You know?
Exactly. It's crazy. I don't know how you guys didn't miss it. How you missed it.
Oh, boy. Well, Gibby, listen, appreciate your taking time for us tonight. And, God, great stories, too. It's just, we were talking before the game, and you were saying that, people do choke in games like this. And I was thinking, wow, it's so cool to hear you say that, because I always think, when I think that, I always feel like, oh, you're being an asshole. A guy just had an off night or something. I mean, the pressure is so intense, even in a halftime show, that some guys do choke, right?
Yeah, you feel it, but you have to tell yourself that you enjoy it. Enjoying it or dreading it is a couple different things. And if you do fail, you got to remember a time when you succeeded, and then hopefully you get another opportunity. I mean, you fail more than you succeed in most of these endeavors. Basically, you got a guy across from you. But I know one thing, Aaron Donald, at the end, he was feeling it.
Oh,
that poor guy crossed it, and he was seeing like a ghost. He said, "Where did he go?" And he looked at his, and the guy was like, he was telling his quarterback, "Look out! Here he comes!" And it was too late.
We could have had that guy.
All right.
Yeah, thanks, Gibby.
All right, guys.
Good luck with your
Good talking
surgery.
to you.
Great talking to you.
Thank you.
All right, Kirk
Have
Gibson.
fun. Bye.
I'm talking about good old Kirk Gibson.
Yeah.
1988 MVP, Kirk Gibson. 255 career home runs.
255?
Kirk Gibson.
I mean, that's
268 must be his batting average then.
that's just math, though. I don't know.
Well,
Although, you know he's
I think you
reading
would get
it
that right.
I was just rewatching the Bernstein Advantage ad,
Yes.
and I didn't realize he had his World Series championship ring on in that because he grabs the bat. It's like,
So you had
God
both of
damn
them on or just one?
Just one. I assume the '84 one, not
I see.
not the Dodgers one.
Okay.
But it's just so big, and that reminded me. There was one time during the game where they never showed AB on the broadcast.
Yeah.
But they
and
did.
we knew he rented that giant suite.
Yeah, and they did. There's a great shot. I don't know if you can find it, Brandon, or I can find it, of Kanye and AB sitting next to each other enjoying the game, and Kanye's got his stupid full face mask on.
What? Why?
And AB, and there's another one too where AB's just got the biggest, goofiest smile with his big ass Super Bowl ring from last year wearing it. And I saw a tweet that just said, "I hope you drop that thing and lose it, you asshole." AB.
There it is.
That's the one. That's the one. Goofy. What is going on there?
Look, AB, Kanye, and Northwest.
Yeah,
I would really like
watching a football game.
I want my daughter to hang out with AB.
Wow. It's just weird.
Happy 38th birthday.
Gibby did have 255 home runs, and his career average was 268. So I just conflated a couple things. He had 870 career ribbies, 1,553 career hits, 260 doubles. But, boy, he had some great postseason numbers.
I was looking at the roster, and that 95 Tiger team is just a weird-looking roster, too.
Oh, his last year?
Yeah.
You know, I
I'm so happy I have you as my best friend.
You have Cecil, you have Sweet Lou, Higginson,
That was.
Chad Curtis.
I love that.
Yeah, what a weird guy that is.
Yeah, Juan Samuel was on that team. Stubby,
Gibby,
Franklin Stubbs.
Yeah, Stubbs.
You ever share any stories about that?
No, that never dawned on me that they crossed paths.
Yeah,
That's
like
incredible.
the same team.
But I do remember when Gibby came back because I was excited as hell. I just didn't know if he could still play or not. And then that 94 season, he was having a killer year. He was Tiger of the Year that year.
Yeah.
He had 22 home runs.
David Wells and Jose Lima were on that team, too. What a
And
fun
he and Wells
guys.
are great friends. But he had 22 home runs when the strike was announced, which was August, was it the 14th or the 4th? He had at least a month and a half left. He probably would have hit 30 home runs.
Yeah.
I mean, at 35, that would have been his best power year in the big leagues. Pretty cool. He never seems as interested in that fact as I am.
And I could not find the Iowa-Michigan State highlight for the life of me, too.
Oh,
It's
man.
like,
I don't want to find an account of it, if nothing else. That's pretty funny, his last game.
It's funny, you think everything was televised back then, and it just wasn't. That game might not have been televised.
Oh, God, that is weird. That's really weird.